Today, we're gonna do a bridle joint. Stick with me and I'll show you how we're gonna do it. Today, we're gonna look at the bridle joint. The bridle joint, to me, is a souped up version of a mortise and tenon. Instead of stopping with your mortise and tenon to go part of the way, it goes all the way out the other side. So what you end up with is a lot of glue surface. So, and if you cut it correctly, it registers off the sides to form a 90. That's where these things shine. Also, I kind of like the looks of it, having end grain. You have two end grains here, maybe one there, and at the time you put your finish on it, because the end grain will take that finish different than a long grain. I think it makes a nice joint. Plus, a lot of glue surface right there. So if you got them surfaces cut right and they're touching, a lot of glue surface makes a strong joint. I got my flat top blade in to when we cut these things, it makes a nice square cut. That'll be less cleanup with the chisel, if you know what I mean. Because you want these things to, like a mortise and tenon, or right near any joint, you want it to fit flush. The better it's cut, the better the joint, better looking joint. But more than likely, you'll have a piece of wood. And this just happened to be, I just had a couple left over from a project, an inch thick, or just a hair over an inch. More than likely, most stuff comes in 3/4, so there's your thirds. You got a quarter, quarter, quarter. But here we're gonna have to, I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna figure 5/16 and see what it looks like. Okay, 5/16. So whatever measurements you've got, if you'll come off the other one on one side and then do the same thing on the other side. So whatever measurement you wind up with, this is gonna put this in the middle. Let's see how we done. This thing here is gonna be about 3/8, a little better than 3/8. So let's just see what 3/8 look like. Well, I tell you what we could do. We could take it right there and do 5/16, and then the center right here. Well, this one, this will be a tongue sticking out, so it needs to come in just a little bit more. So if you have a tongue sticking out, you'll have two pieces over here that the same width as that. So you won't be real close to a third. All right, let's see what that one looks like. Okay, 5/16, and then the sides here are just like a 32nd over, so we'll just go with that. So what I'm gonna do here, the width right here, we'll mark it where we can keep up with it, where we can see it. But right here, we're going with the tongue, it's 5/16. So we're gonna So we're going to stand this stuff up here. So we're going to need something to support that. I've made me a tall auxiliary fence for just that, for this reason. What we're going to do, you just need to make sure it's at a 90 because as tall as that is, you really need that thing square. Like I say, I got a flat top blade. I've lost, there it is. What we're going to do, we're going to line this blade up. I don't know if it's picking that up on the camera. Might be able to fix it where we can see it. I'll put me a line. So what we're taking out now, what we're taking out is the sides. So we need that blade to set just right there. So the corner of that blade, we're going to line up. But the blade height is the width of one of these. On my table, I got it marked right there where the arbor is, and that's the highest point of the blade. You bring a tooth to that mark, and you bring it up just to where it just goes past the end. So that sets the blade height. So that's got the blade height, and we've set, I keep losing it. There it is. So we've got it set right here. There's a couple ways, because as narrow as this end, you don't want it to rock. You got good support here because it's high. However, there's a couple ways to do this. I mean, you can take a piece and clamp it right here, just like that. And that'll keep it from rocking once you get it clamped in. And that will work. My preferred method is taking something I know, I might got it marked right there, that I know is a 90 here, to set it against the board and it'll rest right against it and push it right through. It serves a second purpose. As the blade comes through your work, it kind of helps. Well, it does. There's no zero tear out. So you get a good crisp cut right there. So I like this method right here. Now I've got the blade cutting on the other side of the line. Now we're going to cut that center part out. I'm going to use the radial arm saw to cut the cheeks off. So I need to raise the blade up. stopwatch setting, I can put it in the right place. Well, that got our bridle joint together. Now let's glue it together. It's got a pretty good little fit to it. You want them surfaces touching, because this glue is not going to fill a gap. So if there's a gap or a hollow right there, you lose the benefit of having that glue joint, because it won't never work. But as long as them surfaces are touching, they'll bond. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and say go just like that. We need, because you have two surfaces going together, it's going to push the glue off. So to help it, we're going to glue both surfaces. So what I'm going to do here, if we're going to, it's going to push some off, but you want to get the best chance it can for success. So what we're going to do, we're going to spread it on both joints. I'm going to pile it up right at the end. And that way, we're going to let fall in there what will. I mean, you know, it'll be all right. You have the same problem with a mortise and tenon, or anytime you got two joints sliding together, it's going to push some glue off. Oh. And it swells too, so you've got to go. Yeah, it looks like we got a good fit. We'll check let's see if we got it square. Yeah, it's looking good. Let's see if we got it good and square. Oh yeah. Now what I want to do, remember the surfaces that we're trying to put together, I'm going to take some clamps and we're going to help them stay together, if you know what I mean. So let's see if we can get, see them push together and then push that out, so you know glue is in there. So we're gonna see it push that glue out. So I'm pretty comfortable it got plenty in there. Yep, it got plenty in there. One last check on our 90, right on the money. So we'll let that set up, and what I'll do when I come back, we'll put what I like about them joints. You got an end joint, you got long grain, end grain, long grain. And it absorbs the end grain has a tendency to be darker. And I think it adds a little bit of beauty to it. I like the way it looks. So we'll let that sit up a minute. Here in a minute, we'll come back and I'll take a hand plane, plane it down where it got rich, sharp, crisp joints. Then we'll put us a little finish on it, a little shellac dries real quick. So we'll put some of that on it and we'll admire the beauty. You know, it's like anything else you do. Doing these joints, it kind of gives me time to practice. Of course, practice makes perfect, you know, but if you ain't done it in a long time, you kind of get rusty. I'm gonna take a plane and I'm gonna plane this thing down here where it'll be good and smooth. Now give us a good idea of what the final product will look like. That is what one looks like. Let's throw a little shellac on it, see what it looks like. You want to? Pretty. It's a nice looking joint. That is a strong joint. I mean, you got that much glue surface. It's pretty strong. That is for the strength you get out of that, and I think it's a pretty good looking joint too. Well, that's how I do a bridle joint. It's a good joint. Well, that's going to do me on this one. That's a pretty good little old joint. I like doing these. You get to practice every once in a while. You can kind of get out of practice. I mean, it's kind of art setting all this stuff up. But this is a pretty good old joint, strong joint. Anytime you got a door or anything like that, or picture frame, or you don't think about a joint like that. Pretty good looking joint, I think. Well, that's going to do me on this one. Appreciate you watching. Hope you learned something. I always do. But y'all be safe, be careful. Catch you on the next one.